Hello, good afternoon, salve, buongiorno. Hi, Brigit.
Hello.
Brigit and I are here today to talk to you about something really interesting. So we are here today, myth busting, Italy edition, because we want to talk to you, couples out there that are planning in Italy. We want to talk to you about some of the biggest myths that we come across a lot with regards to planning a wedding in Italy, because not everything you read online is true. Okay, so let's jump right in. Okay. Myth number one, it's cheaper to get married in Italy than it is in the States. Not necessarily, right? Some costs are lower. Yeah, like sometimes I feel like a venue rental or floral might come a little bit less than, say, the States.
Yeah.
Right? But something we're thinking about is things like rentals, transportation, logistics often can add up really fast.
Definitely.
Right? And not often thought about, too, are like if you're renting a villa and you do a block elsewhere, you're transporting guests to and from that, right? And that's a cost that you'd have to absorb that would have to be in your budget. So all of that really does add up fast, I think.
Agreed.
Okay. Am I missing anything on that one?
Also, one common misconception we see a lot is people want to have their guests stay with them at a villa. And people often think that a villa equals a hotel, but most of the time villas, while beautiful, don't have like a functioning kitchen or staff on site all the time like a hotel would. So if you want to be giving your guests breakfast or lunch, especially when you're getting ready for your wedding later that evening, you have to bring in a catering team or have food brought in on site and drinks as well, especially if you want to be having mimosas while you're getting ready. So that's an additional cost that adds up quite quickly when you're there for 3 or 4 days with your guests.
This is why she's such an integral part of the team. See that? I totally agree with you. And again, something we've experienced with clients where we've had to educate them. In a villa, when you rent, you get the actual structure of the villa. It doesn't come inclusive like a hotel. Housekeeping may not even come inclusive. It's pretty standard, but not always. And food, if the kitchen is not something that they use on a regular basis, they may not provide you any kind of meals. There's no room service. There's no laundry. There's no anything like that. So, okay. Myth number 2. Talking about villas again, right? So what else can we talk about when it comes to myth busting here about a villa, say, versus a hotel or an actual venue? I have one. Do you want to go first?
I have one. It might be the same.
You go first, okay.
When you are at a villa, they don't have like round tables, chairs for your guests to sit at during your ceremony, just tables on site that your DJ or catering might need to use, versus when you're at like a designated venue or hotel, they have those types of things on inventory. So you're bringing in, if you need a rectangle table to put guest favors on, like you probably have to bring that in with your decor company or catering company also. Do
you know the one I was going to bring up? So it wasn't the same, but I like that one. So I was going to talk about rain plan.
Oh.
Because something you have to think about with villas are gorgeous. And all the photos you're currently seeing on Instagram and Pinterest that you're like going totally gaga over, right, are these beautiful outdoor, maybe they're long tables, chandeliers, all of those beautiful things. Sometimes you see them on our Instagrams, right? And we love doing those. But you know what? It does occasionally rain in Italy and in other beautiful locations. So when you pick a villa, specifically to Italy, when you pick a villa, look at your rain plan, understand your plan B, because you need to love it. And this is what I tell our clients all the time, love it more than your original plan, because if God forbid you have to utilize it, you want to have not only a plan on how to drop into it and make it beautiful and utilize all the things that you've already committed to for outside, but you want to make sure logistically it's feasible, stylistically it's feasible, and that from a timing perspective, it won't like impede the process by being inside. So that's something I always like to myth bust, like that villas are perfect and amazing and gorgeous. They are, and we love working in them. We do. So villas, please don't get angry. But this is something I think that's really important to mention. Okay, so on to myth number 3. Yes. All right, myth number 3. When you are an American and you are planning in countries where English is not the standard language, everybody speaks English, right? Right?
No.
No. So here's the deal. So many wonderful vendors that we work with speak beautiful English, right? Our team, we have fluency in Italian. So I speak Italian fluently. Joy, that's part of our team, speaks Italian. Chris, that's part of our team. Brigit is learning Italian.
Salve.
See what I mean? And but here's the deal. A lot of the English that they learn is not necessarily American English. So it's not going to be as fast. It's not going to be as colloquialized as our English, kind of like slang, for lack of a better way to say that. And one of the big components where this really plays in is with regards to contracts. So when it might be easy on a conversation, like if we're on a Zoom, and we do a lot of Zoom and we do a lot of WhatsApp with our Italian counterparts. But one of the things that's so important are contracts. And a lot of times their contracts are Google translated. They're not necessarily translated by somebody into English. So it's really important that your planner know Italian and someone on the team understands Italian, so that not only the Google translated doc makes sense, but that you can maybe ask for the original in Italian and go back and read, because there are interesting little ins and outs of these contracts, like we've already talked about, sound restrictions, what rentals are included, that are listed in the contract, but that you might not catch. So I think that's a really important one to bust, is that English is spoken and they do a phenomenal job with that, and we applaud everyone for that effort. But having a planner that speaks both and understands, I think, American cultural expectation and Italian cultural just sort of mindset is so, so important, right? I think fluency and experience really matters for this. Okay, myth number 4. All Italian weddings look the same. We've been talking about villas a lot, so that may be something you're seeing outdoor, the grass, the long tables. But listen, in Italy, depending on where you plan, food, wine, the dialect, the landscape, all of it can change. Just last year, right? In the last year, we did an elopement in Amalfi Coast, right? We did a beautiful wedding in Sicily, and then just recently we were at a villa in Tuscany. All 3 menus were totally different. Right? Sicily was all fish because the property we were at really just serves fish for their guests, right? The caterer we worked with in Florence was very Tuscan and really brought a beautiful, magical menu to life. But, you know, make sure that you understand Italy isn't just one menu. It's not just Italian food. Where you are plays into how you're going to eat, and the flowers and all of that kind of stuff. Every region has its own culture and its own traditions, which is exactly what makes Italy so magical. So before you fall into like a Pinterest rabbit hole, I would say make sure you know that piece of information. Definitely take notes on that. It's really important. Okay, so now we're moving on to myth number 5 that we're going to bust. Yes. Courtesy of Brigit over here. This is a really good one. So are you ready? Okay. The only way you can get married on the water is if you're in Lake Como.
False.
Agreed. Tell me why.
Because there's other regions that you can also have a beautiful water backdrop on, like our client in Sicily, and where were you the last
Amalfi.
time? Amalfi. And
well, really anywhere, because
Palermo?
Italy, yeah, for sure, but Palermo's in Sicily. But yeah, the greatest thing to keep in mind about Italy is it's a peninsula. So for those of you that don't know what that means, that's like Florida. You know how water is on all the sides of Florida? Same goes with Italy. So you can pretty much be in almost every region. Like even Rome has like beach access. Now I'm not saying for a wedding, but just in general. So water's sort of everywhere in Italy. So if water's your thing, you don't necessarily have to be specific to Lake Como. If villas are your thing, you don't have to be in Tuscany, right? One of my favorite places in Italy that I really want to plan is Puglia. Kind of a mini myth to bust related to Puglia. It's all very rustic and it's not necessarily luxury, and that's not the case, because I think Puglia is gorgeous. I love it. So it's definitely on my list. Yes. Yeah, which you know because I tell you that every day. Okay, so those are the myths that we've busted today, right? What's the biggest myth that you've heard about with destination weddings? You should tell us in the comments and we can let you know if it's fact or fiction. And while you're down there, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel, because Brigit and I would really appreciate it. And I think that's it for today, right? If you're planning a destination wedding, anywhere your heart takes you, you know where to find us.